sequence you're going to be in the match. And so that starts with your head and hands, and then it works to when they got to get your leg, knowing your sequence, right? So I showed a lot of my sequence of how I set the guy up with my hand fight. Now I'm going to show you guys some of my sequence for when we're trying to defend shots, right? So there's a little bit of an art to that as well. So a couple things when we're hand fighting. When we're hand fighting on and we're engaged in the pocket, right? The first thought is, how do I keep my forehead in the way of his temple, right? So if we're hand fighting here, I don't like ear to ear. One, because my head's not blocking his head, and he's still got the angle on me, right? So it's a 50-50 from here. This changes if I turn my head and now I block with my forehead in here, right? So now if he level changes, I can feel his shot, right? My head's in the way. So that's what we're looking for when we're hand fighting, is how do I get my head so I'm directing his head, right? So this is the motion. The other thing is, how do I stay inside? I know a lot of guys sometimes like going off the elbow, but for me, I always feel comfortable working back inside, right? So if we're hand fighting, and he sometimes somehow gets inside, collar tie, whatever, what I'll do is one of two things, right? So one is I can elbow pass this side. If he gets inside, elbow pass, get my angle to that position. Or two, I can redirect him back inside, right? So this hand's gonna go swipe, get like I'm grabbing my ear here, swipe, circle, and now this hand, my lead hand's gonna collar tie and I'm gonna pull him, right? So he gets inside, collar tie, I can take it off, elbow pass, right? Or swipe back inside, and now I got inside position, I got collar tie, inside tie. So that's just from the hand fight, right? Working from getting back inside, getting my head in the way. If he's shooting from the outside, what I'm thinking is if he level changes, I need to level change and keep my stance with him, right? So I see a lot of guys, their butt comes up when he fakes. If he fakes on me, just level change, right? Like he's moving, he fakes, level change. And if you feel uncomfortable when he's swiping, do the same thing, the same setup that I showed where I swipe the head and get him off position, right? So I feel uncomfortable, he's faking, I feel really uncomfortable. I can swipe the head post, and now we're getting back to the normal position, right? So that's sometimes what I'll do is, if I feel like my legs are jello-y and he's swiping at my legs here, I'll swipe the head, engage, and now it looks like he's on the defense, right? And it's very subtle, right? I swipe post, and now I get back in, my stance is right where his is, and then I engage. So those are some little things from just the hand fight and my defense. The next thing is when he shoots on me, these things are really important. I see a lot of guys, they try to post with their hands and try to get their legs back. I'm actually gonna go, my forearms are gonna drive into him as I knee sprawl back. So when he shoots on me, it's this motion, right? What that does is a lot of times I can grab and drag from this position, right? So when my forearms block him, I usually have a position where I can drag, and now what I'm gonna do is drag to that side, right? Any of you guys watch Zane Rutherford? Yeah? He's one of the masters at this, right? If you ever watch him wrestle, he's very good at down blocking with his forearms and dragging to the side that the guy shoots at, right? So it's here, down block, drag, run the corner, right? So I want you guys to work on that before we actually work when a guy gets on the leg. So work inside, hand fight, get my forehead in position, and then when he's shooting from me, move, swipe the head, then he shoots. Block with my forearms, run to the angle, right? My shoulder dips, I shoot back, and I'm on my toes real quick, and I look to drag. So block with my forearms, drag over top, so a little slower. He shoots, head blocks. I get to this angle here, so let's turn this way. So I'm here, now I'm running, grabbing the hip, and drive it in, right? So one more time, head's in the way. He's ready to shoot here, block, drag, shot, right? When I'm on my toes and my forearms blocks, I can run that to the angle pretty quick. Any questions?